Hey guys, welcome to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. This is Andrew Burr from the Andrew Burr Group at Coldwell Banker. We can't wait to get started. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Today, my guest is my friend. Is that funny
is that
to you?
really the
That's
name
really
of
the
it?
name of the. That's really the name of it. Living in South Florida. Didn't I tell you that?
No.
Oh, yeah. So Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. That's actually the name of it. It's actually the name of my YouTube channel too and stuff like that.
Right.
So today we have an amazing woman here, my friend Tiffany Rodriguez.
Hello.
Tiffany is a mother,
Yes.
the president of my Rotary Club.
Indeed.
She's entrepreneurial spirit that runs this place called the Hive out here in Wellington, which we'll talk about a little bit. But she's just all around a great gal. And because Tiffany, one of the questions that Kala came up with for me to answer when we first started doing this was, why would where would you raise your son or your kids or something like that in South Florida? And I thought, well, I know somebody that can answer that question. That's why I thought about you.
Yes.
So, but to start out, what makes Wellington a great place to raise your family, or South Florida or Palm Beach County, whatever you want to talk about? What makes it a great place to raise your family?
Well, it's definitely the family environment. So there's everything to do with kids, and there's tons of parks, and there's a lot of stuff to do family-wise. They have great family nights at the center. They have the Lake Wellington has a bunch of activities going on all the time. Mm-hmm. So it's really good. And
obviously your kids are outdoor kids and stuff like that. You're a travel baseball mom and all that too, so you got all that going on. Right. One of the things that I talk about is that Wellington, and there's some other places like Boynton Beach has got some stuff for kids, but it's a kind of a different vibe or whatever. But Wellington really is a very kid-friendly town. There's a lot of stuff that are built for families. I mean, the whole Esplanade or whatever the hell they're calling it. You know what they're calling it?
No.
They keep changing it. But the big thing they're building out there is going to all be like family-friendly stuff. And they have huge kids parks in many of the parks and stuff like that. We're involved as the Rotary, and I'm going to be involved more this year with the holiday parade. Right. And man, it's a huge kids event. It's so a lot of stuff is really kid based here. So it's a wonderful thing.
And we did move from Boynton Beach, as a matter of fact, because we had our kids in private school, and we said, where can we go where we don't have to keep our kids in private school, have good schools, good neighborhoods, and we decided to move to Wellington. And plus, my daughter's also equestrian. So it all kind of just fell into place. It worked out really well. Yeah,
and the equestrian bit, we talk about that on there all the time. I mean, it's definitely a very equine sort of area, jumping, dressage, all the sort of high-end equestrian type stuff. Very nice, very nice. So what about you? What about like for you, if you were to take the kids out of the equation, what doesn't suck about Florida for you? What do you like about it?
About Florida? Or
about living in Florida? About living in Florida? About living in South Florida?
The sun. I don't know. I mean, I know that's I know I don't look like it.
Freckled, yeah.
I can't be in the sun, but it is. It's vitamin D. It's lovely.
It is.
It makes you happy.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, and that's, so when we first moved here, my wife and I, 30 years ago or whatever it was, we're like, I want to say we're nature freaks. We're not hippies or anything, but we loved that. Yeah, and then back then, and it's changed because we built up a lot of stuff like that. But back then, man, we would just we'd go sit. We had a little apartment and a little pond behind it and stuff. There'd be like all the turtles and frogs. And it was just so cool. And there'd be a little gator and stuff. We'd be all excited. Yeah, we got a gator or whatever. Right. Like now it's like a gator. It's 4 inches long. Kill it. So anyways, but the outdoor aspect is definitely what we loved about it. And the sun for sure. I mean, we're in the water as much as we can and stuff like that down Keys, wherever it is. So we love that. But it doesn't suck. So
it's very outdoorsy. I know a lot of people think like from up north, if you're from up north, you're used to doing different types of outdoorsy things. Right. But here, I mean, we go kayaking.
Everything's an outdoorsy thing here. Like we can do, and we do it all year long. Well, whatever. I mean,
it's going to be hot, but you kind of get used to it.
Yeah, and you can. It's way easier to cool down than it is to warm up. It's just
100%.
I mean, I'm from Maine, north of where most Canadians live. I'm from Bangor, Maine. Like sometimes you just flat out cannot warm up for days. At the very least, you can spritz yourself with some water or something like that. So it is really awesome. Like locally and just the day-to-day life. I think people take for granted that have lived here a while, all the stuff that we don't even do half the stuff that we came down here and love to do, but we'll get into that in a minute. But but let's talk about the business side of what you do here, because this is a really cool studio. By the way, I'm gonna plug the studio too. It's Canna House Studios where I do this little thing now, and it's in a little building called the Hive that Tiffany runs. And you guys are getting ready to open another building.
We're trying to open up another building, yes, so hopefully that we can keep small business in Wellington.
Yeah, because that's, I tell you what, it's tough right now. And not just Wellington, but, I just left a commercial listing in Boca. I just got an appraisal on it. And the appraiser's like, I can't tell you the last time I appraised. It's a condo. It's a regular condo. She's like, there's none.
Yeah.
There's none. They don't come, it's like crazy. So for a lot of us, and myself included, we need a spot where we can get like a little decent size, anywhere from 500 to 900 square feet. Don't need them huge. Don't need but need a room for a workspace and stuff like that to bring people in. Cool thing about this place, you get shared conference, beautiful conference room and all that kind of stuff, and a big old kitchen and a gym. Yes. It's a gym with a shared office space.
Exactly, it's all included.
That's pretty cool. So, anyways, we're gonna have her throw up all your information at some point, and put it all on the thing, and so everybody be able to call you and ask you about that stuff. But if you're ever looking for some space,
yes, any office space. Yep.
And there's some funky stuff back there too. Like I was trying to. She's like, we're talking about what are them things where the people got the things lined up like they look like little living rooms. The things that look like little living rooms back there. We walk back there. There's the
little houses.
Yeah, little houses or whatever.
Okay,
what is the deal with that? I gotta know.
That wasn't exactly my idea, but I walked in one day and we were splitting them up into offices.
Oh, so you guys did that?
Yes,
but little houses.
I walked in, instead of them being little offices, they were houses.
I love it, man.
It looked like Yesteryear Village.
I know, but it's so funky.
Where
That's
are we right now? Yeah,
it's really cool.
Very interesting.
So you guys are renting those out individually?
Well, somebody rented the whole bay.
Oh, yeah, so you said somebody rented the whole bay.
Yeah,
but that's because it was funky and cool, and I'm like, that's what we want. That is kind of fun.
It's very interesting when I walk.
It is different. I mean, and honestly, the world has changed for everybody with COVID and stuff like that, and everybody's looking for a different way to do things. I honestly think a lot of people, I don't know the right way to say it, have lightened up a little bit, and are. And I don't know what's the word. What's the word for? They are embracing their inner weirdness, coolness, mellowness, whatever it is.
They're hip.
Yeah, they're getting more hip to whatever they are, and I think that's kind of cool. And that's what this is allowing you to do too, because people can kind of tailor make what they need to what they need.
Right, exactly. Just like the studio here. Yeah, she came in and she made this place absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's very nice. We've already got, we just started here not long ago. We've already got a lot of compliments on, everybody thinks we're outside.
Right.
Because of the light.
We're outside.
We're inside in the air conditioning. Everything's all good. It's all cool. So that's, anyways. So that's the cool thing that you're doing here. And yeah, it's a unique concept. So come see Tiffany or give her a call. So let's get back to why living in South Florida doesn't suck. Do you get the kids go up to Orlando? I know they play ball up there, right? I think I hear all that giant wild world of sports or whatever. Do you guys go to the parks?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're
parky people. What are you Disney or are you?
Yeah, no, we were Disney, and now the kids are getting a little bit older. They like to go to Universal. They like the bigger rides, but they still love Disney as much as old as they're getting. They still love Disney. We're DVC members, so
I hate Disney. Well, let me clarify. I hate Disney. Is it World or Land? What's the one?
World.
I hate Disney World. Disney World is not the happiest place on earth. Every time I went with my little baby girl, it was miserable. Everybody was miserable. The baby was miserable. But I was like, no, we got to go to Disney because it's the happiest place on earth. Nobody was happy. I'm telling you, nobody. At least not in our crew. We do love Epcot, though, whatever. So that's cool. What other things do you do that's maybe, because this is kind of like the theme of what we talk about here, like what's cool right here.
Right.
We already know what's cool right here. Outside of you and me. But like, what's the stuff that is nice about living there that you can access or you can get to, or things that you can do that other people can't do that don't? Okay, oh, you really?
Yeah, we love the tent camp.
Tent camp.
Yeah. So we hit up all of the.
I didn't know you tent camped.
Yeah, we hit up all the spots. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So the springs here are amazing. They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they're 72 degrees. So when it is super hot, you jump into the spring and you feel good, and they're nice and clean and clear, so you can see all the critters.
Yeah, it's too cold though.
Yeah, but it's nice when it's
clear.
July and August here.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't feel so cold. Itchy. So
sorry, it's my ear. Apologize. Yeah, I don't know. 72 now. No. Honestly, I don't think we won't get in the water in the Keys, and I live on the bay side, so it's not real. It's the side that warms up better.
Right.
We don't get in the water after probably October, and probably not again until almost May sometimes because it's got to be,
Well, the golf is definitely, the golf side is definitely warmer.
Yeah, and it's where we're at too. It's pretty crystal clear too, so it's nice there. But what else? So the spring tent. Really don't see you tent camping. I always thought you were a little more bougie than that.
Never. No.
Okay, I'm the bougie one in the room, guys.
That's right.
We're gonna call this Beauty and the Beast. I might not be the beauty, but I'm the bougie one, kids. I ain't camping in no tent. I ain't camping in no trailer. I'm camping in a Hilton. So just in case you're wondering, really,
yeah,
that's cool.
Take your bikes. You go around the tent.
Look, so we tried, man. We tried when Megan was a little bit. Megan didn't like it any more than we did. Amy and I are not tent camping people at all.
Kids love it. My dogs love it. Everybody loves it.
Oh my God, we went up to Maine for the 4th of July. I don't remember what year it was. I'm like, I didn't pack your hoodies and stuff. 4th of July. And nobody did. It was like 44.
No.
And
that you don't have to worry about here. That's for sure.
And then we go to this. So I spent a lot of money. And I stepped up and we got the cabin at the lake. And the cabin at the lake, it's big pimping up there if you get the cabin, right? Sure. And I rented a Cadillac too, so I rolled into the I rolled into the. Well, I didn't think about it. I was at the place in Boston, and the guy's like, "Well, we don't have your car, but you got a Camaro or a Cadillac." I'm like, I'm driving for Boston. I need comforts. I said, let me get the caddy. But this is the beautiful white, brand new caddy and stuff. So we go rolling in, and I don't know who people thought we were, but people were like afraid to come talk to us for a little bit and shit. And then we lit a fire and everybody came over. But the funny thing is 4th of July. And my wife tests the water or whatever. She said, go tell them to turn the heat on the water. I'm like, fuck, this is not, you can leave that in. I didn't even really care. Like, this is not going to go well. So I go trotting down to the guy. I'm like, hey, man, this water. And he's like, that's all, because they take the canisters of propane that they use to heat the water and they put them away.
Right.
For,
Oh, sure. For the summer. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, well, he's going to try it, babe, or whatever. So I go in there and next morning I take my freezer shower, which, I've done and whatever. In, out. I'm like, hey, we're just going to go over to Mom's. You can take a shower over there. Because my mom was up there too. It was a whole family thing, but they were on the other side of the lake in this really nice house, right? With my sister, the other bougie one. So they had a really nice lake. They had heat, and, water heat and all that stuff. And she's like, what? No. I'm like, yeah, we'll just go over there. So we go over there to take a shower. The next morning, I totally forgot. So she tries to get, and she suffered through it, and she went through it, man. But I mean.
That's definitely one thing whenever you.
Tell the story. Well, because the thing is, we get in there, and you're like, they have these nice little, you hit them, and the animal hair is poofing off because the raccoons had lived in there and all that stuff. It's crazy. Oh,
the water's cold though. Whenever you turn it on,
we got plenty of time. I thought
it's
freezing cold because it comes right out of the freaking.
Yeah. Here we're
Florida cold water. Oh yeah, Florida cold water is awesome because it doesn't kill you. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of things about it. The more I think about it up there, I'm like, I don't know. Listen, people, my friends from up north, particularly you guys in Maine, I don't know what the hell you guys are thinking. So, anyways, so living in South Florida does not suffer for a multitude of reasons that we've already covered. But I want to get because the travel baseball thing, and thankfully my daughter just didn't care enough about sports that I had to do that because that seems like a really grueling. Like, isn't that a lot?
It is. It's just about every weekend, and it's a few times a week.
And you guys don't go to down to Boynton, but you go to the other part of the state, and this is a big state too.
Right. There's a lot of tournaments that are in like Sanford and up towards the Orlando area. That's where a lot of them are held. Yeah. Lakeland and things like that. So that's we do travel quite a bit.
Yeah, it seems like it would be exhausting after a bit, especially because you do so much stuff. You're so busy.
Yes.
Like you got your fingers in all kind of different stuff. I mean, you got a full-time job doing this. And you still do the Oliver's Harvest too?
Yeah.
So she's got another job running a CBD company. So CBD. Yeah. What other things you got the farmer? You don't run the pharmacy, right? You run a pharmacy too?
Yeah. Several of them.
So she runs like 15 businesses out of here and is a full-time mom and as the president of my Rotary Club, I mean, that's not a part-time job. I mean, it is kind of part-time, but it's kind of full-time, part-time. Like, it depends.
You can make it whatever you want it to be, honest.
But there's a lot of responsibility and I'm so proud of you, too, brother. I got to say, I am. I'm so proud of you. She's done an amazing job this year with our Rotary Club. I've been in this Rotary Club for, I don't know, a decade and a half or something like that. And I've seen presidents come. Actually, it's been longer than that, but whatever. But you've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And I like it because you keep stuff. You're right there, done.
Yeah.
You ain't messing around a whole lot of time over meetings. They're going to last as long as they're going to last, and that's it.
I got things to do.
Makes me happy. Yeah.
In and out. In and out.
In and out.
Yeah.
Now, all right. So here, let's talk about some of the things. And people are really surprised all the time because they ask, me questions or, other people around questions all the time. So I'm going to ask you this question. How often do you go to the beach?
Oh, almost never.
That's pretty much like,
Again, you see.
I know. But you're talking about how much you love the sun.
I do, because it makes you.
But you can't get in it because you're redhead with all them freckles.
You have to have some.
Just go get in the water and whatever.
So it's good for you.
I just get 15 minutes a day walking back from the car.
Exactly.
But that's true. Mm-hmm. But that's the funny thing is that, and it depends. Like there are the people that live on the beach that still don't go to the beach. And then there's the people that live on the beach that go to the beach all the time.
Right.
To clarify, we in at least in Palm Beach County, we live out in horse country. She was talking about her daughters in equestrian. So and this is another thing that surprises people because I'm like, we're way out west. We're 7 miles from the ocean.
Yeah.
And people are like, what? Way out west?
Yeah.
Like, it's like two different worlds out here. I'm just telling you right now. And, it's changing too. It's getting built out. But when I first moved here, man, like if you went past Military Trail, it'd be like, where the hell are you going? Are you going, hunting? Are you going armadillo hunting or something?
Gator hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
In the canals.
So it's interesting to me that this is what happens a lot, and I deal with people in my profession that come down all the time, and they come off a plane and they go, hey, I want to buy a house or whatever, and or a lot of times hopefully we talk first before they get on a plane because it makes a lot more sense. But they're like, yeah, and we want to do this, and then we're going to go to the beach a lot and stuff, but we want land, so we want to move to Loxahatchee.
Right.
I'm like, so you want to go to the beach all the time, but you want to move to Loxahatchee. I'm just telling you those two things do not really go together. Now, like if you're really, 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 really planning on going to the beach all the time, you might want to move a little closer to the beach. I was like, it's not even 10 miles to the beach. We live 45 miles from the beach. We go, all the time wherever they're from.
They've never been on Southern Boulevard.
Yeah. So, but anyway, and I'm like, it's just different now. I don't know what happens. Like, I know when we lived, an hour and a half from the beach and we would go for the day.
Right.
All the time when we lived up in like Maryland or whatever it was. And we'd go over to Bay Bridge, it was like a thing. And we would just go all day. We didn't even spend the night. We'd just go all day and then come back home.
I feel like people think that we're on vacation all the time here because we do live so close to the beach, but your life happens and things get in the way and you just don't have time to go to the beach.
This is true. And it gets, life definitely gets in the way. And we aren't always on vacation. I was talking to my sister. She's like, well, whenever I think of Florida, I think about, a beer and flip-flops. I'm like, it's because you're on vacation when you come here.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't mind a beer and flip-flops, but it's not all day, every day. You still got to make some money somehow to, live in this goodness.
We have tons of things to do. There's festivals every weekend. There's something always to do.
That is true, yes. And particularly now, again, I think we're out of COVID again. I mean, that COVID really put a damper on a lot of things. We still had, luckily, the outdoors. And we all went, and, we would have block parties in my neighborhood. Where everybody sat and then the driveways are all long. But then everybody would kind of gather together towards a couple of driveways, but there was always, 6 to 10 feet of distance. But we're all in the middle of the street because no cars were driving around. Nobody had anywhere to go.
We did the same thing, yeah.
So that was kind of cool. And, a lot of people obviously came down because they didn't have that opportunity. They were stuck in their, condo or apartment or whatever. Like, what are you going to go out and freeze your ass? And no. So just the fact that we have that is awesome. But I had a point. I don't know what it is. I don't remember.
You're just talking about how nice it is to live in Florida.
That's what that's basically what this is all about. Yeah, but I had a thing, like a specific thing that I was going to mention. I don't know what it was. Do you play golf at all?
Not since I've had kids, and they rule my life.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, look, it does take.
I did play golf once upon a time.
It does take a toll.
And that's another thing.
Empty nester life is awesome. Let me tell you something. I love my daughter, and I loved her when she was a baby girl and all that, and I loved her when she was a teenager and loved her all that, and boy, I loved it when she's an adult.
Yeah.
Because, it is. It's and then my wife and I are like, what do we do now? It's like on a honeymoon again or something. Like, what are we going to do? I don't know. And then you're like, yeah, we're going to do the same crap we do. But yeah, so, and I've been very fortunate, and, for me, I was able to buy the house in Key Largo and stuff, and that's awesome, and it's great. But I have so many friends down here that have boats too, that bought boats. And I'm like, I've never seen a boat move. I'm like, when they first get it, they get
all
out
excited.
there every weekend. Hey, come on, let's go on the boat. Da, da, da. Then the next thing you know, it's like all of a sudden, it's like, when are you going to move your boat the next time?
The best days of owning a boat is the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. So
you just need a friend that has a boat.
Well, that's it.
And that's it.
And that uses it a lot because, that's, the thing is like, and I have a couple friends actually that do. They use them all the time. They're always like, hey, come on the boat. And then, I'm always amazed that like, we're like, oh, we can't. Oh, we got this. And it's like, why don't, so, and this weekend is amazing because I never have actually I don't. Damn it. I made an appointment. I got to show the property. But I thought I had the whole weekend off and I was all excited. And they're like, all right, great. So he was like, all right, we're cleaning out the garage. I'm like, clean out the garage. It's not a week off. It's not a weekend off.
No.
But yeah, so now I'm working and cleaning the garage this weekend. So.
Yeah, you got to go to the Lake Worth street painting
festival.
festival.
Oh yeah, the sidewalk festival. Yeah,
that's amazing.
So, I thought Mary Lou Bedford. Are you listening? I talked to Mary Lou. I'm so excited. They're gonna be doing some more like community based stuff pretty soon with the chamber. I'm so excited. So excited. I love you, Mary Lou. I'm gonna get you on here too on this podcast. But that's a good idea.
Gotta go check that out.
We'll
festivals.
We'll never make it. We're not gonna make it. I'll be like, we're gonna go. We'll never make it. Yeah. It's a whole city away. It's too far. But
it's down the street.
I know it's down the street.
It's by the beach.
I know. But anyways, well, my problem is that, I'm getting old and cranky. It's like Sunfest. Like,
oh no,
don't even talk to me about Sunfest anymore.
I've aged out of Sunfest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and listen, Jack Johnson's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Amy loves Jack Johnson. And then I'm like, first off, it's $70 to get in.
Yeah.
Like $70 to get into Sunfest. Hot. Yeah, hot, crowded, too many people.
Everybody smells.
Hey, wait a minute. We're talking about why living in South Florida does not suck. Listen, if you're a festival goer, you're cool. Like people like festivals. Yes. I'm just not a festival type of person. So, and Sunfest, honestly, 25 years ago, with this cool little thing that was on the street, and it was only a couple blocks, and it was just a fun little. You got the beads and everything, and now it's turned to this big corporate thing in my mind. But whatever. Right.
Yeah, it's nice to go for the person that you're actually going to look for, or do you want to hear?
Oh yeah. Well, they have like 4 stages there or something too. Mm-hmm. It's like, It's like last time I went to New Orleans, and I don't know. So first off, don't go to New Orleans to go to a 3-day concert. Go to somewhere like I don't know, crappy. Like, I'll say a name. I don't know. It's crappy. Like Poughkeepsie. I don't even know where Poughkeepsie is, but like somewhere that's not a destination city, because you're going to go to New Orleans. And you're going to stay in the quarter and then spend all your time in a field watching some band.
Right.
Ugh.
Yep.
That's my wife. She loves that stuff. But she's like, no, then we can go get food. I'm like, we're going to be here till 2:00. And I'm not.
Yes.
All right. Again, digressing into not things that make Florida not safe to live in. But actually, the one thing about right here, too, is we got a pretty decent venue right down the street. There's a lot of concert venues, lots of sports. I mean, we got pro football, pro hockey, pro basketball. We got the big soccer. You know about the big soccer thing they're getting ready to do out there, right? That's crazy, right? That's going to be a huge.
That's going to be huge.
Huge.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good draw for sure.
Oh, and I meant to go. Do you know that little racetrack that they got out there now in Southern? Do you know what I'm talking about? No. It's some F1 driver or something else. I keep thinking Nelson Piquet, but I don't even know if that's a real name. But it looks really cool. Every time I drive by when I'm going to Waxahachie, I'm like, I got to go check that out because they actually train little kids to race cars and high-speed go-karts, but you can also go out there and just be stupid.
Oh, yeah. So it's
where the paintball thing is.
Yeah, the paintball. Yeah, it's like a new little facility. It's got putt-putt golf.
Yeah, that's a huge track. It's supposed to be pretty cool, but I can't remember the name. So if anybody knows the name, send me a message because I'd like to go check it out. So the last thing I want to talk about, and this is something, and so I always talk about like the cool stuff that we get that other people don't just because we live in Florida, like cruises. Like we pay way less on cruises. We get the discounted tickets on Disney and all that. But I always ask, is there any other thing you can think of that people just don't get? That don't like? What do we get here just for living here? Like, I mean, it's easier to fly to the islands and stuff like that. It's closer, right? But is there any other things that trying to uncover something that we don't talk about all the time?
I don't know. I think people don't realize how many how the parks and I really don't. I think that's overlooked a lot.
Yeah, well, that's true. We got more parks. Like you drive.
Everglades is amazing. It's the coolest really spot. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And and I don't know. And Everglades Park's huge.
It is.
Huge. Yes. And then you got the underwater parks. The marine sanctuaries and stuff like that. And Pardon me, but yeah, even then, but even like every down here, I don't know, as long as it's up north, like, but like every town has parks down there. Like Wellington has what, like 7 parks, 7 city-sponsored parks or something like that. It's crazy. They're all over the place.
They're actually in some, like in the neighborhoods.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
the
little ones.
Neighborhood
It's like
ones.
Linton and whatever they meet. Yeah, they got the cool
little parks.
That's true. I mean,
and, everything is. I mean, now we have the golf carts, so we can access everything pretty easily.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be able to drive your golf cart legally on the sidewalk on little paths that they widen up, Wellington's the place to be. And they even have little stop signs that you should actually stop at when you're driving your golf cart down through there, because if you don't stop there, the guy that's got the stop sign in the big car might hit you. But and like golf carts and little motorbikes and stuff have always been synonymous with Wellington because of the equestrian culture. So I think it's a good thing they especially with the equestrian culture is growing so big. I think it's a good thing that they kind of tried to address it. We'll see how it ends up working.
I don't mind it at all. I think it's great.
Yeah, and it's fun. And and that's so. We're going to do our last thing here because I know we're pretty much probably on time. Somebody was here last time and we were talking about where you go fishing and but the food, the dining. We got some of the best food. It's not only the fish and the seafood is like literally so fresh it got caught 20 minutes ago and you're eating it. Right. But what is your favorite cuisine or your favorite, you can name a restaurant if you want to. What's your favorite place to eat in Palm Beach County?
In Palm Beach County.
Period.
Favorite place to eat in Palm Beach County? Oh my goodness. I don't know. You're putting me on the spot. There's so many.
Well, name 1 or 2 or 3. Say a couple.
The Okeechobee Steakhouse.
Oh yeah, Okeechobee Steakhouse is very good. Yeah, and they got that cool little thing they're doing out there now in Loxahatchee with the.
Yes, they have the cool. And then they have Prime, which is right next to them.
Yeah,
and that's a seafood. So you have steak, you have seafood, you can do both.
Yeah,
but it's like a little hidden gem. I think everybody kind of goes to the beach and they want to go to Masters. They want to go to the bigger places.
Well, the people that have been around for a long time, I think know Okeechobee. Back, I mean, once again, a lot of people might be surprised, but 25 years ago, this area was a little small town kind of area. Like everything was a little small town. It just went woof. Yeah. Okeechobee Steakhouse. So if you get down there, check out Okeechobee Steakhouse. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure we're going to have you on here again, and we'll talk about some different stuff because I didn't get a third of the way through, but then that's because my mind rambles sometimes.
No worries. Yeah.
But it was awesome having you.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're going to get back to work. And thank you very much, Kyla. We'll call it a wrap for now. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell. I'm not sure what the things are going to be, but like it on Facebook, share it with your friends, spread it amongst the world. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you here again for the next one.